All I remember was seeing one hand on her leg like this and then another hand like grabbing her tit. So I did a video like this a while back where I just told a story, and I think you guys enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it because I just got to like talk and tell something that's actually happened to me. And you probably read the title, so these story times are going to be themed around school. Also, don't mind if I eat Pringles during this video. I'm honestly starving. It's just nice and intimate, you know? So just sit back and relax, eat some Pringles, listen to the stories, especially the last one because it's crazy. So in elementary school and mostly middle school, I was a troublemaker. So the first story I'm gonna start off with is me being a bully on the bus. Obviously, don't bully, it's bad. I was super young. I think I was in like 3rd grade. I don't really remember, but I used to bully this certain boy on our bus who lived in my neighborhood. I was really good friends with another boy that lived in my neighborhood, and this is when I was like such a tomboy. Like I literally dressed like a boy, looked like a boy, had boy hair, like I was a boy. So him and I would always sit on the bus together and we'd kind of just like be rude to other kids. We didn't know what we were doing, whatever, we were young. This kid was super annoying. So I had a big huge bottle of blue Gatorade. This kid would not shut up. So like my friend joked around and he was like kind of instigator, like whatever. He was like, oh, like pour it on his head, whatever, like you won't. So I picked up like my half gallon of Gatorade and I dumped it over this kid's head. Like I still feel so guilty about this, but basically poured it all over the kid, got screamed at by the bus driver, and that's really all I remember from being on the bus. But when I got off the bus and I got home that day, his mom, who knew my mom because we all lived in the neighborhood, of course, had to stay local, my mom comes over to me. This is honestly probably the most I've ever been in trouble in my life. I remember she like dragged me to her car. We got in and we drove right down the street through the neighborhood to this kid's house. I was pissed. Like I was crying because I didn't want to do this because I felt so bad. She made me get out of the car and apologize to this kid face to face. And I was just like, I'm sorry. And then I went back and sat in the car. And then I remember that our moms just kind of like were like talking like normal moms. They were just having normal conversations like how's work, this and that. And I was just sitting in the car crying because I was just like, please get me home. It was so awkward. So obviously, shouldn't have done that. Felt like an asshole, but it's behind us now. Next story takes place in middle school. That's like one of the only ones I remember from elementary school. We used to have in-school suspension, which basically was like the step before being suspended at home from school. So I would get ISS, which is what it was called, all the time, like at least once a month. The worst I ever got in trouble in middle school was, this is kind of a backstory. We had chorus class and I fucking hated it. I never sang. I used to get kicked out of the class all the time. Like I kid you not, this teacher would make me stand like outside of the door and kids would walk to go to lunch because it was right by the cafeteria. They'd be like, hey Chelsea, like they knew me as being the girl who got kicked out of class. Like it literally was my thing. They also went on a field trip once and I couldn't go because I got kicked out of class so many times. She used to kick me out all the time and I was so pissed, so I wanted to get payback. One of the worst decisions of my life. Basically, me and 2 of my friends stayed after school to get revenge, so we snuck into her classroom. At first, I honestly don't remember what we were planning to do, but basically, we ended up trashing her classroom. Basically, she had posters in her room. We ripped down the posters. She had a bunch of writing on the board, like lyrics and shit, and like a schedule. We erased the board. We kind of like fucked up her desk, like just threw shit. One of my friends at the time like stole her stapler and I think like another thing on her desk, whatever. But basically the teacher, like a couple days after, had said something along the lines of, oh, something happened in my classroom and I know who it was, and like looked directly at me and my friends. So we got 3 days of ISS for this, and basically, I kid you not, they would lock you in a room, no windows. There was a paper, 3 pages long, of rules and regulations that you had to copy word for word, and I had to do this 3 times in a row. So like I had to write the rules 3 times. It was so terrible, but obviously we deserved it. We trashed a teacher's classroom when she wasn't there. I was really petty and I just wanted to get her back. So now let's move on to the most interesting story of all. This is in high school actually, but this is about the time I walked in on 2 teachers doing something. I was a freshman in high school. Basically, we were in like a study hall period and we were doing homework, and we had a question for one of our math teachers who we knew didn't have a class at this time. So we figured, oh, we'll just go down and ask them the question and we'll go back up and do the homework. Like there had been rumors around the school that these 2 teachers had a thing together, and like no one believed it because it was like stupid. We walk in this classroom and like our school was weird. There was one classroom and then there was like a common room kind of. So we walk into the common room of his classroom and he's sitting in a student's desk next to this lady that's like rumored that they're having an affair together. All I remember was seeing his hands, one hand on her leg like this and then another hand like grabbing her tit. Kid you not, weirdest shit of my life. he got mad at us because we came in during his free time to ask him a question. We ended up like leaving, not even getting the answer, and going to the office because like one of my friends was like, this is so weird, like we have to tell, which obviously was weird, but I would rather not go up to the principal and tell him that I saw my teacher grabbing some girl's tits. You know, then we went to class, whatever. And that day, the principal called my mom, and I remember like the next day being in his class and like he was aware of what we saw, so it was super awkward. But a couple days later, he was gone. And so was she, and they both got fired. So basically, I got 2 teachers in my school fired because I walked in on them like groping each other. And they are divorced from their other husbands and wives, and now they are together. Isn't it like a cute love story? They went to feeling each other up in a classroom to actually being together in real life. Granted, they both lost their jobs, but I guess that's what it takes to be in love. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up to let me know. And I have a lot more stories. I have more school stories, getting in trouble. I have scary stories, boy stories. If you guys want more story times, give this video a thumbs up, leave it in the comments, and I'll do it. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.